Oh, well, happy Friday, and it's a pleasure to welcome into the Export Beer Garden studios for the first time in a couple of weeks from Gay Paris, James McOnie. G'day, James.
Oh, what's up? Bonjour, bonsoir.
Bonjour, mon ami. What's happening, James? What are you up to in Gay Paris?
I'm just catching up with some Parisians, Parisians.
Yeah.
And I was down in a place called Carcassonne, which is very nice for if you like castles. There's a very nice castle there. Not many carcasses I could see, but definitely a lovely place in the south.
I thought you said Carcassonne, and I was like, you'd love that. You just sit right in the chair at the end of the bed and
Carcassonne.
Carcassonne away.
Carcassonne.
Oh, Carcassonne.
It's a place of many carks. Yeah. But the cucking, unfortunately, was there wasn't much of it going on. That would be quite exciting for me, really, being a cuck in France. You'd be like, because everyone's cucking over there in France, because apparently, you have your mistress and you have your wife.
Yes, of course.
There's cucks galore. It's a place of many cucks.
Yeah.
I'd say the last thing you want while you are with your mistress is your wife cucking in the corner. That's a next level.
They're pretty open over there. I can't imagine that probably occurs.
Yeah, but even if they're open and keen on it, you're like, go out and run some errands. Use the time wisely. Don't just sit and judge me, because she might be looking and you go, you never do that with me. Why don't you do that? What am I not good enough?
They'd rather not know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
They'd rather not know. They're off to Zumba and they're off to doing their own thing, generally smoking cigarettes, from what I can gather.
Yeah, is there vaping
seems to be.
Is there vaping in France, or are people still ripping the old e-cigarettes, the regular cigarettes?
There's a lot of vaping, but their main exercise is smoking the good stuff.
Hey,
durries.
Yeah, the analog vape is very popular in Europe. I mean, we went to Germany.
So when I was down in the Cuck Central in Carcassonne, it was 38 degrees when I left today.
Oof.
Reckon.
It's not durry weather for me, 38 degrees. I don't mind a durry every now and again, but geez, 38 degrees, that's piping hot for a durry, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not a big smoker.
Yeah.
Smoked a lot of shisha in the Middle East.
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, a lot of shisha, but that was more an environmental thing.
Yeah, I love a little bit of a shisha.
Yeah, lying on a beanbag, sucking on a shisha and drinking peppermint tea I did a lot of that.
That sounds like the greatest way to spend the day of all time.
Hey, James McOnie, you saw the same post I did around a gentleman that was doing a live stream for Manchester United during the week. Now, for those who don't know, any professional sports team over, probably in the US and the UK, they have their own media channels, and they basically run almost 24 hours a day, and they have people running live blogs and live Ask Us Anything around Manchester United. And his whole entire broadcast got derailed when a question got put forward on the screen of what chocolate bar would you put up your backside?
Oh.
And look, I mean, we wouldn't lower ourselves to that kind of thing, but it completely took over his broadcast, and he tried to move on. It's one of those classic situations. It reminded me of James McOnie when we would do a theme on the rugby, and we would try and move on from the Jeffrey Epstein theme, and it just kept, and we'd try and move on, but the audience, they decide. And on this case, every single piece of correspondence that got sent back to him for the next 20 minutes was, what chocolate confectionery item would you put up your butt?
Two things, Sheila.
Yeah.
One is, when the theme goes to Epstein Island, look, Stephen Hawking was on Epstein Island, so even the intellectuals can't complain that they're not represented in the Epstein theme. They've got one of their elite was on Epstein Island, so there you go. And then when it comes to shoving chocolate bars up your ass, everybody's thought about it, let's be honest. And this guy got a deluge where people were going on about the Toblerone, and he was saying no way to the Toblerone, absolutely no circumstances. And then the game didn't go very well, and he thought that actually I'd rather have a Toblerone shoved up my ass. So I
think the Toblerone
finished off.
Toblerone going in would be all right, but it'd be the pulling it out where it'd be like as it comes on out. It would be snagging on all those big ridges. It would be, that instrument, and you wrap your knuckles down and it goes, shh.
Well, it's, I mean,
like that.
Well, I'm reminded of the movie Brokeback Mountain, where, there's a lot of love going on, and then eventually they're in a tent, and the deed has been done. And I'd say that it would have been quite a dry situation up there. I mean, I'm not sure what they had up that mountain in terms of lube or anything else, but a chocolate bar wouldn't have gone amiss as a, what would you call it, an early, as a
pre.
As a
gateway,
before
a gateway
the
chocolate bar,
gateway,
an entree.
So maybe if Gyllenhaal or who is the other one?
Heath Ledger, R.I.P.
Heath Ledger. Yeah, if one of them had taken even a Twix up there, or a flake, or even a picnic.
Well, this just goes to show what you know about the movie Brokeback Mountain, James McOnie, because anyone who knows that movie even vaguely will know that before they do the deed, he gives his hand a good old-fashioned lick, and then
that's not enough.
Lowers his hand. He goes, and then you see his hand disappear down under. But yeah, he does it the old huck tour spit on that thing.
Hey, what would you?
No, that's not enough though, is it?
No, I don't think.
Are you saying that's enough, G-Lane?
I don't think it's enough. No, far from it. Far from it.
No, I mean, you want to feel it. It's not called.
Well, like if I wanted to feel it, I'd put a summer roll up there.
It's not called massage your back mountain. It's Brokeback Mountain.
What would you put up there, Tony Lyall?
My first thought was, if you're going to go in, you may as well go whole hog and go sort of a Snickers bar so you can feel the veins.
Yeah, okay. I can understand that.
But then my next thought was maybe a Tim Tam sideways.
Okay.
I'm thinking that I could handle a perky nana. Like I think I could do a perky nana, but
quite soft though. But a bit like putting an oyster in a coin slot.
No, well, I mean, I'd probably need it to be maybe refrigerated perky nana.
Yeah, okay.
But the issue for me is that the picnic, you might enjoy that a lot. That could be an awakening, right? But there was a chocolate bar before that preceded the picnic, a nut roll. Can you remember a nut roll?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
They were absolute beauty.
Yeah.
And I wonder whether, if only that existed, that would just answer the question straight away.
Okay, let's get into it, James. We've got a lot to cover off.
Oh, okay, whoa. G-Lane, I can't help but notice that.
Why am I?
We all said our chocolate bars and you didn't say anything.
Oh, I said a summer roll. Oh, look, if I wanted to,
a summer roll, aren't they girthy as all hell?
I would take a flake.
No.
But if I wanted to feel it, I'd take a summer roll.
A flake doesn't have the consistency to remain. The integrity of a flake isn't thus that you can shove it up your backside.
But it's the game. But it's the game to get it in. There'll have to be a lot of action beforehand just to even entertain it.
Only the crumbliest, flakiest chocolate.
G-Lane, you haven't even given this proper thought. You've just plucked summer roll literally out of your ass.
No, I haven't.
Because
it's got coconut.
It's barely a chocolate bar. It's barely a chocolate bar.
It's a nougat. It's nougat covered in chocolate.
It's a nougat bar. Yeah.
It's nougat covered in chocolate and rolled in coconut.
Does it still count?
Does
it still count if I thumb a full packet of M&Ms up there?
That's not a chocolate bar. That's a confectionery.
That's a party trick.
Yeah.
That's a party trick.
Once they're in there evacuating it, we'll definitely stop a room in its tracks.
Oh, Jesus. The image of you thumbing
individual Tic Tacs.
Oh, Tic Tacs, even worse. You'd end up foaming at the mouth. Maybe you could put some Mentos in there and then butt chug some Diet Coke.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Just a full Barocca.
And then you'd have full Vesuvius. Okay, we're going off topic here. Live from the Export Beer Garden Studios. This is the Agenda Podcast for Friday the 14th of August.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
James, you keeping abreast of this tour of South Africa, no doubt from Europe. Is there much coverage of the series in Europe?
Yeah, I've watched one game in French commentary and the other game in English, which is clearly one of those guys who've got, those sort of black market fire stick operations. Have you ever? I think all the cricketers and professional rugby players around the world have these things.
Yeah.
So they've got every single channel. But anyway, I have watched it. I saw Mata's incredible haka, which was kind of like the haka responding to the All Blacks did Kamiti. He did Kapa o Pango. It was pretty cool. Nicely shot by South African TV. But how cool is it that it's a rare thing when something like that happens and there's kind of like widespread approval, because we're a nation of whingers. You look at ACC posts, there's always some people getting on there and having a bleat about something, but Mata did it and it was just like everyone just went, yeah, oh shit, that was pretty cool, eh?
Yeah. Oh, it was, and it's rightly so, from a 100-test veteran who's the age of 44 still playing professional rugby. I mean, anyone who did criticise it would have been off their faces.
It's a great take. It's the universally loved thing. We have so few of them where every single person is like, they're fucking ruled.
Yeah.
No one, I've not seen a single person be like, oh, he made it all about himself. Or everyone is just like, hell yeah, brother. It's just, it really is. It's the best way to do it.
It was a rare thing for New Zealand just to get on board and say, yeah, that was awesome. I love the way that South Africa, obviously super sport over there, they knew that it was going to happen and they were ready to film it nicely. The only problem was that Ruben Love was caught in the moment. Then he saw himself on the big screen. He sneaked the look, He sneaked the little look because he's so handsome.
Classic
It's
Ruben
like
Love.
the biggest mirror.
He saw a hot guy out of the corner of his eye and was like, who's that, babe? Oh, it's me.
It's me. Exactly.
It's me.
So apart from that was absolutely perfect TV. But also Ma'a he's right level pegging, really. Can I say level pegging? Can you say level
without
pegging?
without it, yep. You can.
He's level pegging as our GOAT. Like, I know that everyone loves McCaw and Carter, and everyone goes McCaw, Carter. Well, Ma'a is our greatest ever midfielder. He's probably, as a 2 World Cup, he's won 2 World Cups. He was on the field for all of those games. He scored an incredible try and took him to sort of pretty much put it out of Australia's reach. This is the thing, like, he is really GOAT status, and like you say, G-Lane, at 44 years old to still be doing it. You could see when all the reserves, Amoni Narawa, Timothy Tavatavanawai, and another reserve, they were all squabbling over who was going to swap jerseys with Ma'anonu. And that sums the whole thing up. He is that big of a deal that I thought it was just pretty cool that they became kids again, right? Yeah. Fans again.
They really were. They were giggling like schoolgirls deciding who could get that jersey. And I mean, rightfully so. What a thing to get, especially for those guys, all outside backs, all must have grown up watching the game, looking up for Ma'anonu. I think you're right there that he is in that conversation. The longevity thing that's where I start to raise my little eyebrows about, does that contribute to the GOAT status above the other ones? Like Richie, in and out, dusted his hands and carried on. It's sort of like, people say that the fact that LeBron has played for so long, that obviously makes him better than Michael Jordan, but get in, get out, do your thing, and then cruise off, play golf, smoke cigars like Jordan, in my humble opinion. Yeah,
I mean, a different strokes. I mean, McCaw, there's no way that McCaw could have carried on given how much his body went through playing that position. So it's a little bit different, I think. But Ma'anonu, I did just go back to that game for a second. It was great seeing him put in a couple of old school cheap shots as well. Like, you could see him in the bottom of the rucks, and you could see him with Darius Rucker after he scored the try. Just like, damn, he scored it, and then just gave him a cheeky one in the ribs.
He must wreak havoc over there in the grades that he's been playing with some dog shots, swinging arms, stomping on dudes' feet. Everyone must be like, geez, because he still runs with reckless abandon. Like, he smashed into Ruben Love. I imagine Ruben Love would have like, Jesus, this 44-year-old man has just rattled my cage. He did take him down.
Took him down.
He took him down completely.
I mean, I'm definitely, I've always talked about this on the ACC about longevity, greatness being different, but he's got both, really. So he's got, at his peak, he was imperious and no one could touch him. And then now he's got longevity as well. So he's covered everything there. So you can't argue with him. Whereas, say, someone like Jimmy Anderson, who kept on bowling, and in the end, he's going to break all records and have the most wickets or whatever for England. But I think that he's more longevity greatness than pure actual greatness, than Joel Garner, Richard Hadley, Malcolm Marshall type of greatness. You know what I mean? Like, so who's feared?
Good point.
So what do you got? What have you got? Who's on your Rushmore then? Who is on your All Blacks Mount Rushmore?
Probably Jimmy Cowan. He'd be up there.
Not your Mataura.
I think Ma's on it. I think he's the best second five. With I think he's by far and away the best All Blacks. So you got
DC, you got McCaw and Ma'a. Who's the fourth?
And then Pine Tree. Yeah.
Okay.
Pine Tree Meads is our greatest ever amateur player. So you've got to, if you go professional era, then you could probably chuck someone else in there. But I honestly think that Connor Meads has to be up there because he set all the standards. So Michael Jones is the only one that you'd probably say could knock someone off that. So can we have a 5? Mount Rushmore?
I mean, we can carve another one. So
let's just put Michael Jones in there as well.
My hot take is that
Jonah's tough. Jonah's tough as well.
Jonah's got to be in there. I'm a real Jeff Wilson fanatic, but the Colin Meads one for me is hard because I don't know anything about the guy. I mean, how much tape have I sat down and watched of Colin Meads running around? You know what I mean? It's a lot of I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm fairly sure he set up how to play any sort of rugby in New Zealand, and obviously is exceptional. But I mean, I sure as shit didn't see it.
Well, let's can we go with a 6 Mount Rushmore? Because I feel like there's actually a clear 6. Because if you go with Richie, Dan, Ma'a, Sir Michael Jones, Sir Colin Meads, and Jonah Lomu.
That's a pretty good 6.
There's your 6.
That is a pretty good 6. Hey, so
and I mean everyone else is probably adjacent to greatness. Like I always felt like Kieran Reid at his best was amazing. Aaron Smith was freaking incredible. You know, Christian Cullen is like, he just shone brightly like a freaking comet, right? And everyone's going to talk it. His highlights kind of like just blow everyone away. But I feel like that's a pretty amazing 6.
Well, yeah.
Can we have 7 with Christian?
We could have 7 and put Jeff Wilson in there. You could put
Christian.
Is it Jeff or Cully?
Well, I feel like John Kirwan was probably as good, if not better. John Kirwan was amazing.
Right.
Kirwan, he kind of started the whole big winger thing as well. You know, he's freaking incredible.
We're running out of room.
Some might argue there would be no Richie McCaw without Josh Kronfeld. So, I mean, we're going to put Josh Kronfeld in there as well. He taught him everything he knows. Here we
go. According to Josh Kronfeld.
And that is according to Josh Kronfeld. Also, according to Josh Kronfeld, he told me that the best player he's ever played with was Jeff Wilson.
And Jeff Wilson says the best player he's ever played with is Jeff Wilson. Okay. Hey, we've got the Bulls this Sunday, 5 a.m. last warm-up game before the test. And Richie Mo is a go-go. James McOnie, surprise to no one.
Yeah, Mo Money, Mo problems. It was always going to come in. And Billy Proctor, I feel sad for Billy Proctor because I feel like there was probably the one position that was slightly up for grabs, although I think they do need Quinn Tupaia when it comes to yardage and the way he played as well in those crappy conditions in Durban. I think, you'd say the back line is pretty much set. Richie Mo shouldn't really play the first test. I think they need to stick with Ruben Love.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It has to happen.
So it has to happen. They can't kick him out now. It'd be such an incredible kick in the pants.
Exactly. I know. But as an insurance policy, that it's crazy levels because I saw Mackenzie go down with that ankle problem. Haven't heard anything since, but it didn't look comfortable at all.
It's been confirmed as a sprain, James.
Yeah, and ankle sprains have taken a while, right?
Yeah,
they've taken ages. The high ankle sprain, that's been the scourge of many an athlete, You know, and we don't even know. I don't even know what it means. I just feel like it's.
I haven't got a high
ankle.
I haven't got a high ankle.
Yeah,
so
I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure I have a low ankle at this stage. It's all sort of fused together.
I've got a cankle, and so as a cankle sprains, people don't actually appreciate it. You know, it's really tough.
It can be. But no, Dave Rennie came out.
I was going to look for my phone.
No, Dave Rennie said he's all right for Saturday. He's all right for the first test match, and there's going to be no worries about his availability. So I think that's right. Do you think he's going to go straight into the Bulls game? He won't, will he? I don't think we'll have time.
Well, G-Lane, it doesn't really matter because, I think that doesn't even because you got Will Jordan, right, as your backup. But what does matter is Cam Roigard, right? That's the thing. And Preston actually looked really good as the starting halfback. So he could start the first test because, a calf, we've all blown a calf before, especially you and I, G-Lane, coming from the Waikato. It's a rite of passage to blow a calf. And then, so I know that once you do it, and Cam Roigard, good Waikato boy originally, I don't know where he did it, but along the way he's blown a calf and it's quite a concern.
So that game...
You got to get him nice and young. I reckon he'll come on for the Lions game. I reckon that'll be Richie Mo's first introduction in there. He'll
the midweeker
miss that first test and then come on and then just to give him a little bit of a taster over there. But it's quite a lineup. Josh Jacobs starting at 10 for the first time for the ABs up against the Bulls on Sunday morning. You got Rieko Ioane back in the midfield. Anton Segner starting at 7, which is
I like the look. Anton Segner played out of his skin in that first game against the Stormers.
Real Sam Cane. I know he's got a skinhead, kind of looks like Sam Cane. but he plays in such a similar way of just that like abrasive smashing into everyone, never takes a backward step. It was really good to see. It was quite reassuring and I think just reminded everyone, a lot of people have been talking about, where's Duplessis Karifi? That's sort of been the big storyline of this tour. And then Anton Cygnus is quietly going about his work, being like, where is he's at home because I'm here. Oh, boomfa.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, Cygnus play well, but I also think that what cracks me up is whenever someone reviews a game, they go, that number 7, he was everywhere. It's like, that's the job description, like, don't fucking say that.
Yeah.
Like, give me something else apart from that guy was everywhere. I'm not throwing shade at Anton Cygnus. I think he's bloody awesome, but it's like, I've heard like proper, what would you call it, seasoned professional rugby analysts go, he was everywhere. That 7. It's like, duh, that's your fucking job. You have to follow the ball around as a number 7, you know, like, and basically that's kind of why Cygnus has been given the nod, because he's kind of proven to be that guy. I feel sorry for Duplessis Karifi, because he was, I thought, absolutely outstanding. I hope he's not getting punished for chahuing too much.
Everyone's allowed 2 teams in the NPC, James McOnie.
What are yours,
You're
McOnie?
allowed 2 teams and a soft spot. My 2 teams are Mulu's number 1, Harbour number 2 because I live there, and my soft spot's the Stags.
Yeah, okay, I'm going Mulu's number 1, obviously. I'm probably going Taranaki number 2, and then I'm going either Southland or Northland for the soft spot. It's real tough, the extremities. I can't go Bay of Plenty because they've been such a big rival. The Steamers and the Mulus just have too much rivalry.
There's too much
Even
beef.
though I'm kind of happy for them to do well, but
I definitely want the Steamers to knock over the Crusaders, Canterbury at Te Kaha on Saturday without Richie Mo.
Actually, I'll take my soft spot and give it to Counties Monaco.
That's a good choice. Okay. I'm definitely fins up, go to Marco number 1, Otago number 2, and the Steamers. Give me a hearty Steamers.
You're going to Cleveland.
My wife's from Rotorua. A lot of friends and whānau from Tauranga wrote. So you got to do it. You got to back the Bay, the Cleveland Steamers.
Okay. Well, a bunch of NPC action over the weekend. Probably the biggest game is that Shield Challenge on Saturday afternoon at Te Kaha with Bay of Plenty headed down there looking to tip over Canterbury. I really want to see it just move around. Yeah. Multiple regions, multiple weeks.
The week-long humiliator, though, I want them to have it for more than... I mean, not Canterbury. I'd like to see them lose immediately. But after that, every other team, you want to have them a couple, maybe a defence or 2.
Yeah.
Not just the get it 1 week, lose it the next. I just feel like that's a humiliator.
And Harbour, first...
Well, the Mulus did that last year, Tony Lyall.
Yeah, I know.
And Lima Sopoaga kicking the winning goal, and then suddenly the Stags turn up. And I tell you what, there's a few Stags fans buzzing around the Upper North Island. They were there in the crowd.
It's all the share milkers,
shit, man.
It's all the share milkers around the way.
Yeah, it's true. And that was a hell of a game from the Stags. And then they went and lost. Didn't they lose it almost immediately?
They lost to Otago.
Yeah,
it was quick hands. It was hot potato, that freaking Shield.
Hey, that Harbour victory last night, their first away victory since 2023.
It's almost impossible to believe. Like, that's a long time ago. If you cast your mind back to 2023, I think we're still like in some form of lockdown. There's some sort of deadly pandemic sweeping the like, it's that long ago. It's such a long time to not win an away game of rugby.
Right. We're going to take a quick break. Knock rugby on the head, unless you got anything else, James?
Just on Harbour, that Israel Leota is an absolute superstar. And so he is probably the best winger in the NPC, with apologies to whoever's playing the house down at wing. But he's probably talented enough to play for the All Blacks. And I think that in the end, Dave Rennie said, so which of these Moana Pacifica guys are we going to choose? Do we go for Samisi Tupo-Taylor, the big bullocking number 8?
Raging
Israel Leota. Yeah, exactly. And I think they just went, we're going to go with the big, because in the end, our wings are pretty good. We've even got our best, player, Will Jordan, out on the wing. So, there's not many opportunities there. And if you're picking a number 8 who's probably going to touch the ball 30 or 40 times a game compared to a wing, what it's like playing wing in the modern game. chase a few kicks, and just get on the end of the chain. I can see how they came up with the conservative call of going for Tupo Loa, but that Israel Leota is going to be whoever gets their mitts on him.
Yeah.
If it's the ABs or if he goes back to league because he was with Brisbane Broncos, he's a proper superstar, that guy.
So he was tearing it up for fun last night. Very sort of comical haircut, can I just say, running a giant ponytail out the back.
Plaited as
and
well.
a little bit of a piss fringe out the front.
Yeah.
The piss fringe is coming back, by the way. There's a few people running around with the cheeky piss fringe, yeah.
What super team does he play for?
Well, it was Moana.
He was with Moana.
Yeah,
he was with Moana.
Surely someone signed him.
Yeah, he needs to be signed, but it all depends on what happens. I think he's actually a Wellington. His dad's from Wellington and was good mates with Tana Umaga, which is why I think he ended up at Moana Pacifica. But then before that, he was with the Broncos, and even they've said, hey, we think we've made a massive mistake here, come back, so watch the space. Watch the space.
Okay.
His name, is Israel, so I'm sure that he'll sort of spread all over the place. Controversial. Just putting that out there.
Quick break. We'll be back because Test cricket has got started. Rightio. Test cricket, the summer of cricket has started in Australia, up in Darwin. Now, I don't know if you noticed, Australians have kind of regarded this series against Bangladesh as rather more of an open net session. And even before the test match started, there was footage of the Australian cricket team accidentally hitting their golf balls into the practice nets of the Bangladeshis due to the fact that then practice facilities were next to a golf course.
Yeah,
so while the Bangladeshis were hard at work, the Australian team were out playing golf, and I think it was Labuschagne shanked his one into the nets. Not a good sign. And after day one in Darwin, the Australians and the media have gone ballistic over it as well. They got bowled out for 198, and I must say they're lucky to get 198.
The Bangers did. The Bangers got bowled out for 100.
No,
Australia. Australia got bowled out.
Australia.
Yeah,
and that's
Australia got bowled out.
70 of those runs are Steve Smith.
Yeah.
He came out in a fairly belligerent classic Steve Smith innings, but he was lucky to get it. I think he got caught behind on 7 and almost walked off, was like, I whacked that. And then afterwards, they looked up at the one where they watch the Snicko or whatever it is, Ultra Edge, and there's just no line, and everyone's like,
How come Australia, James McOnie, how come their broadcast technology when it comes to cricket is cutting edge? It's like they always come up with the best innovations, whether they stay on or not, whether it's the hotspot, the Snicko, everything else. Mm-hmm. Yet it seems to be every series, they always have the biggest fuck-ups when it comes to the technology. And 90% of the time, it always seems to favour Australia.
Yeah. Obviously, we're talking about Adelaide, the terrible, the hot spot.
Could have been anything.
It could have been anything. That was just absolute shit. There's been a few like that. Even in that Ashes series, there were quite a few. Yeah, I've just caught up with the score. You know what? I actually thought when I saw 198, I thought there was Bangladesh. I was looking on the tri-bat going, okay.
Poor Bangers.
And then now the Bangers at 96 for 1.
Yes.
Chasing down the total. I mean, the Aussies, that they would never take the series this seriously, but also how often do they play Bangladesh? Because I know that we have to play them a lot.
8 times a year, usually, contractually obliged.
And in fact, that's the reason why a lot of our batters have pretty good averages. Like if you minus the Bangladesh, this is bad to say, but if you take out Bangladesh and Zimbabwean tours, suddenly we're sort of getting to what we call like a real average, But yeah, that's the whole thing is that, look, you can only play who's put in front of you.
Exactly.
So bloody good on the Bangers. I'm
agreed.
That they've actually got up the Bangers.
I think we've got some audio here of the grey cricketers' reaction to the day's play.
There are crocodiles in that water behind us, and I might fucking jump in because that is one of the worst days in Australian cricket history.
But you know what? The Bangladeshis were having so much fun. It was great to watch. I was parked up at my desk watching it. And, they were doing the wicket celebrations. And one brought out the Sergeant Cottrell stamp and salute. There was one guy just danced his way to the other end of the pitch. And then I think the crowd started to get behind them as well because Steve Smith was fucking around with the sight screen, which got described as the widest sight screen on Earth.
Yeah.
And he was complaining about a cameraman who was miles away from his eyesight.
But there should be a point where when you're out, when you just go, no, that's no longer in your jurisdiction as a player.
In the end, they did. They said, and because the cameraman said, I'm not moving.
Yeah.
I've been here all day. I'm not moving.
And for every game beforehand, and I will be here for every. This is where we have a camera operator.
And so then the crowd turned on him because this is what was shouted out to Steve Smith.
Quite possibly the biggest sight screen in world cricket at that end. Something is still annoying Steve Smith. Maybe it's not sure if it's the cameraman at the bottom or a couple of cameramen up the top.
And you can see that sight screen from Adelaide.
Hit the damn thing, Spud! Stop being a princess!
Right, just tell that guy to disappear there. The one walking this way.
You're not bigger than the game, Steve! Deal with it! Get out the way!
You're not bigger than the game. Deal with it. You're not bigger than the game. Get on with it, smudge, you princess.
Yeah.
One of the great sledges coming from the crowd.
And coming from your own fans too, Friendly Fire, who just want to get on with it.
Yeah.
Like, just play the fucking game. The idea that you can go, nah, we've got to have this guy gone, this guy gone. Because also the bowler is running down and bowling it in front of you. So then you're like, oh, well, the bowler actually is pretty distracting as well. Can we get rid of the bowler?
It's classic Steve Smith. It's classic Smith.
Classic Steve Smith.
Can you guess the population of Bangladesh?
Yes, 250 million.
Tony?
That seems like a shitload of people. I'm going to go a slightly more conservative approach and go 100 million.
Well, you're banging between both of you because it's 178 million.
Oh, it really is right between
Bangladesh.
us.
Yeah, it's a big.
So
they love it. They love cricket.
It is, and so in terms of population density, it is the most densely populated country that actually has countryside. Because obviously Monaco, Gibraltar, Macau, all those, Hong Kong, they win it generally because they're just cities, you know. Whereas for a country that's actually got countryside, Bangladesh pisses over everybody else.
Yeah, and they
are population density.
They're a dark horse. I think in terms of like wealth and influence, the Bangladeshi Cricket Board is like in the top 4. Obviously, it goes India, and I think then England, then Pakistan. In terms of just pure money and numbers, and then Bangladesh is up there.
No Aussie?
Oh yeah, Aussie. Yeah, but in terms of just pure numbers, like in terms of population and sponsorship money and TV rights, Bangladesh is right up there.
I guess that's why we get them so often, because they're like, oh, you can go play over here. We still get a decent bit of coin.
Correct.
It still holds a little bit of sway.
They've kind of been laughed at for many, many years, but it's a country of, 170 million people who this is their number one sport. They love cricket.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
you got to nurture it, eh? You can't... That's the whole thing. It's like, okay, bangers, and maybe this is the big turning point. Getting sent to Darwin, and maybe finally the bangers go, fuck you.
Yeah, that's kind of it's kind of what and that's what it seemed like yesterday when they were bowling, because obviously they probably feel like they've been disrespected over an Aussie. So the way that they were celebrating those wickets, and they were genuine wickets. They were going through the gate and bowling. Like Travis Head got beaten through the gate. So did Alex Carey. It was great stuff to watch. As a kind of a New Zealand cricket fan, it's good. So get stuck into it today. News: the Roosters now top of the table with the NRL. They beat the Panthers 12-6. Quick turnaround for the Panthers, though.
Quick turnaround for the Panthers, it certainly is. And I just want to play you this audio. I watched the game last night, and obviously it's 1v2. This is sort of show-stopping stuff. The Warriors currently sitting in third, but they are on points before that game were equal second. So obviously points differential meant that they were third. But it's this sort of blatant disrespect from the commentators that I find so infuriating. And this is why I want the Warriors to get over there and absolutely shove it down their throats. This is Michael Ennis, the commentator, before the game kicks off in the preamble, talking about these teams, obviously 1v2. Listen to this Warriors disrespect.
Super heavyweight v super heavyweight. Penrith v Roosters. The showdown first versus second. Michael Ennis, depending on result tonight, do we have an absolute outright favourite for the title?
Without a doubt. Good evening, Andrew, and everybody at home. Absolutely. Tonight, I am so comfortable in saying we are watching one of this year's premiers.
Okay.
That's where we're at tonight.
Isn't that the most infuriating thing? Am I crazy, or did the Warriors pull the Panthers' pants down last week at Mount Smart and run them all over the field, beating them in the process? Do we just not exist in their eyes?
No.
Are we just not worthy? What do we have to fucking do?
Win the whole title.
Win the whole thing? So they're just like, oh, that was cute that you beat them last week, but this is the real game.
Correct.
This is the real game. It drives me fucking crazy. And I just so hope we go over there on the 4th of October. And, I mean, maybe it will be Sydney. I don't know. I don't care either way.
I'd like to play the Panthers.
Roosters, Panthers, whoever it is, go over there, beat them, and then someone just points up at the stands at Michael Ennis and say, who's the premier now, you absolute fuck stain. I was so mad when that played.
No, and fair enough, Tony Lyall, but this is the whole thing we've had to put up with for years, whether it's dodgy refs with their implicit bias or just basic bias. And then you've got God, he just rejoices in any time the Warriors play badly. And he only really pipes up in a game where the Warriors are getting beaten, whereas you hardly even hear from him when the Warriors are on top, you know, when they actually have a dominant game. Somehow Blocker seems to disappear into the background. And so now you've got one of their, I guess, their main pundits say they completely ignore the Warriors. And you know the reason why? Part of the reason why is because both grand finalists from last year, the Storm and the Broncos, are nowhere to be seen. And they're the only other teams that they kind of take seriously as well. And so he's even disregarded his own Sharks team. He's a Sharks guy, right, Michael Ennis? And it's like, come on, mate, for fuck's sake. I think Andrew Johns the other day, did you see his analysis where he goes, I thought the Warriors were missing X factor and maybe a key playmaker who pretty much could take the game by the scruff of the neck. And now I've changed my mind. I actually think they're so well balanced that they're a major threat, you know. And of course we do have X factor. I mean, look at Leko, it's fucking more X factor than anyone else in the comp on his day. But Lyall was heading in that direction as well, right? Like he's so hard to handle, and I don't think any team would want to face the Warriors. That's what I think, and I reckon we should do our fucking haka over there as well.
Oh, yeah. So do I.
Just go, okay, yeah, hey, this is what's happening in the. You know, you better get out of the sheds early because we're huckering, mate, and that's what's happening. You know?
Yeah, dream scenario, home semi-final, that last final, Eden Park packed out, go over there to Sydney, get a hucker in, and I don't think any other team, if it is the Warriors in the final, will be able to assemble a group of fans like the Warriors will be able to do, so that last game will almost feel like a Wars home game. I think like it all is sort of lining up in a positive way for them. Not to like try to throw any sort of heebie-jeebies on it or anything, but I just think to be like counted out is just it's also bad punditry.
Yeah,
Michael Ennis.
I'm looking forward to seeing the crowd at in Brisbane on Saturday night.
Oh, mate,
because it's always 60-70% Warriors fans. And obviously the Broncos aren't doing so well, so I don't think the Bronco fans are going to turn up.
No, the casual Broncos fans who go, I might give this one a miss.
I don't want too many Wars
I don't
fans.
want the Mount Smart Joker to call me a piece of shit in front of my kids. I might stay home.
So that's late night.
Also, if you... Oh, sorry, carry on, G-Lane.
No, I was just going to say that's 9:30 on Saturday night, so a bit of a late one there. But no, away you go, James.
I was just going to say the Roosters just a couple of weeks ago only just squeaked home against the Knights. So wherever Michael Ennis is, I know they absolutely cream their jeans over them smashing the Cowboys. But one thing you learn about league is every now and then there's a blowout, and it's just one of those ones that you have to totally Steve Hansen it and flush the dunny and move on. But it doesn't necessarily define a season, and that's where I just go, well, come on, mate. Like you say, bad punditry doesn't. I mean, that's where you need Sean Johnson over there just to say, hold on a second, you know, like. He needs to Kanye West that shit and grab the mic out of Taylor Swift's hand. And I'm gonna let you finish. But yeah,
it would be good to get Shawnee J over there, change the game. It would be, it's what they needed actually, just a level head in that scenario.
Yeah, okay. So I've actually chucked $100 on a pretty leery anytime try scorer for that game. I put it on Mitch Barnett, Aaron Clark, and James Fisher-Harris all to score a try. That is paying $296. So $100, turn that into $30,000.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that's paying $290.
It's off the back fence. It's up the guts, off the back fence, three-way anytime try
paying
scorer.
$30K.
Yeah.
Holy that's not a bad.
Have we had any good collects lately on your crazy bet?
We were so close.
So close in the All Blacks game. We had 5+ tries to Fairhair, Damian McKenzie and Caleb Clark, and they scored 4.
Oh.
They scored 4.
They scored 4, and
McKenzie went off.
Finnianganofo was like pesting around behind someone once, and that Geordie Barrett just didn't pass it to him. Caleb Clark was running in support of Preston, and he was nearly tackled, but managed to goosey his way out of it. And that would have netted us a decent amount, I think.
1,500.
Yeah, so that would have been a real treat, but I mean, that's no 30K.
I know that's going to be outrageous if we win that one.
Okay.
Hey, James, thanks for joining us live from Gay Putty.
Cheers.
Safe travels back to New Zealand, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you in the flesh.
Look forward to holding you.
Look forward to
I look forward to the flesh.
Can't wait to see you.
It's going to be good.
Tony Lyall, let's hang out.
Yeah, man.
Come and see me, mate.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Rightio, to finish off the week, we have got a bunch of yours pleasers where you send in your feedback, your questions, your thoughts, and you can be part of the Agenda podcast by pressing that microphone button on your iHeartRadio app. We've had a lot of people pop their cherries this week, which is pleasing to see. A little bit gross, but pleasing to see.
Some of them even send in yours pleasers.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and don't forget to, whatever you're listening on Spotify, Apple, iHeart, wherever, make sure you click on that auto download function. You can also slag us off and give us 5 stars on Apple as well, and we'll read those out. But here is the first, yours please, for the Friday.
Kia ora, cunts.
Kia ora.
2 things. Bar up when I was playing footy always just meant fire up, go smack some cunt.
Okay.
Unless I was completely misinterpreting my teammates at the time. Second thing, up the Magpies, mana, this is our year, boy.
I can't argue with that.
Yeah, it might be.
The Magpies are looking pretty good. Okay, I am going to have to admit that barring up has a double meaning.
And this must come as huge news to you when the amount of times when someone was like, oh, mate, at the pub and someone pushes you and he's like, mate, I'm barring up over here. And you're like, oh, wait, you want me to get an erection? Like, is there any times when you've really miscued here?
No, because in my circle, it's only ever been used in a erection type thing. Like I couldn't bar up. Is usually the way. I was so drunk. So drunk.
That's the only way I've ever said it in a sentence. I was unable to bar up.
Yeah. I was, man, I'm fully barred up. Never in the context of I'm ready for a fight or a confrontation.
Or even like, a game of rugby. You can bar up for a game of rugby. You're like, it's interchangeable with like G up or like.
I mean, admittedly, if someone was barred up on a rugby field and came running at me, that would be off-putting.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen it. Anyone sort of get. I mean, maybe in the changing sheds afterwards. Obviously, you give it a couple of pumps before you hit the showers.
Okay.
You don't act like I'm crazy for this. You got to give yourself a little before you hit the changing shed. A mandatory couple of pumps before you walk in nude. There's no way people aren't doing this just to get the blood flowing. Just so you're not walking in with.
So you've got 23 dudes giving it a couple of pumps before hitting the showers.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Well, let us know.
No one's walking in with the full humiliator after a game of rugby because obviously sport exercise it shrinks up inside you. No one isn't at least giving it a flick just to wake it up before you walk into the shed. I'm not saying you're going in fully engorged.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying you're waking it up. You're getting it to just a presentable. You're making it presentable.
A state of readiness.
You just give it a little so that when you walk in, people are like, yeah, that's normal.
Okay.
This is outrageous.
I don't think I've ever done that.
You never given it a wee warm up. You never. It's like you got to prime it.
Well, famously, Tom Harper, he used to work on the ACC, agreed to streak at a Dulux Tradies 11 match in Hawke's Bay at Clifton Cricket Club.
Yes,
and just to liven the game up. So he disappeared over the other side of the field at Clifton. There's a big oak tree in the corner, and he got fully nude in there. And like you said, he wanted to.
He's got to prime it.
He wanted to show a good representative of himself because it was live streamed. There were cameras everywhere, and he was behind the oak tree, trying to give it some. And unbeknownst to him, there was a farmer on the paddock over on his 4x4, and there was a naked man underneath an oak tree going hammer and tongs. And as soon as Tom Harper locked eyes with the farmer, he
finished.
He stood and just sprinted across the field. And then to add to the humiliation, Tom Harper ran across the field. He got a standing ovation, and he showed a good representation of himself. But he ran across the field, and then underneath the scoreboard there were some hoardings, and he beautiful swan dive over the hoardings. And then he was just going to sit behind the hoardings and, let everything die down. But again, unbeknownst to him, there was a camera tower off to his right that just focused on this guy, like almost in the nude fetal position, and they stayed on him for a good minute on the coverage.
On the big screen?
Yeah, and so it really didn't end well for him.
Yeah.
And he learned a lot of lessons that day.
Well, I always think with streaking, you've got to have an exit strategy planned, and I know often, the preloading doesn't lend itself to thinking things through, and also
often it's the young of the moment.
The young male mind, you don't often think of the repercussions, but you want to have maybe a grab bag of clothes placed somewhere on the other side of the stand, so you can run through, jump the fence, grab the grab bag, hop the outside perimeter fence, and then scoot off. I've always thought that Hagley is the best place to streak, Hagley Oval in Christchurch, because there's only just like a bar, not even a barbed wire, just the chain link fence that you get on like a construction site. And then you're in Hagley Oval. So you could pre-plant a grab bag in one of the beautiful willow trees of Hagley Park.
Yeah,
you can streak from one side, give your bags to a friend, jump across, get back in, get out there, change clothes, put, different set of clothes on. You could be back in having a beer watching the second innings in, I reckon, half an hour. Yeah,
Basin Reserve, I think, has also got potential. There's only a little fence over the back of the monument there.
But you are in a suburban area at the Basin, so you jump out and you're on, literally...
You need help.
The road to the airport.
You do need help. You need assistance of someone on the roundabout.
Yeah, because you could jump over and be confronted with a school bus, and then all of a sudden you got to go to jail.
Yeah.
Where in Hagley Oval, as long as you're doing it at night time, there's not a game of youth cricket on. You do not want to hop the fence and be confronted with another game to streak through, and it's like a youth girls cricket game. That's no good.
And you certainly don't want to put your grab bag in any public toilets on Hagley Park as well.
No, because you might run in and before you know it, you're noshing a fella off.
Yeah, correct. Next one, yours please.
Hey mate. Get him at FML Stadium Saturday night, the Waz women's team for $20 a ticket. That was better value than a Mad Butcher's meat pack, because those ladies, they know how to put on a show. Also, guys, who's the DJ a-hole they had? Because whoever he or she is, can we get them to do every other sporting event in New Zealand? Because they were playing some fucking bangers, not the usual beige bullshit that you get at most other games. G-Lane, make it happen.
Okay.
The Waz.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can't not disagree with the fact that they can put on a show. They are on fire at the moment.
Yeah, they certainly are. I'd love to have an example of the tracks that they played at FML Stadium during this the Wahine game.
Let us know. Let us know what they are, and we'll. The only major contact I have who will be able to find that out has just left the podcast, and that's James McOnie, who's quite tight with the FML Stadium staff. So I think he knows who the DJ is there.
Yeah, my immediate guess would be sort of if it was the Wahine, sort of like a early 2000s so R&B bangers. I'm thinking like Usher, maybe some little John, maybe throw that in there.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of sort of Chris Brown, those sort of areas.
Yeah, I still can't forgive him for what he did to Rihanna. Though,
of course, no one can. But I mean, look at me now, an absolute bop. So
it is a bop. Okay, next one, yours, please.
Hey, Jake here, born and bred Wellingtonian. Hey, why the fuck are we playing midweek NPC games at the Cape Town? $8 for hot chips, for one beer, $10. Sitting at like a million miles from that action, and like, are we kidding? Fuck the association, fuck Wellington.
Yep.
We lost up the harbour.
Yep.
Fuck Wellington. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't agree more. It looked pathetic on television last night. Apparently there was less than 1,000 people in attendance.
I can only excuse I think is Sky wanted it there for the coverage.
I mean, sure, but is there nowhere else?
Yeah, Porirua Park.
Porirua Park. It's got to be. There must be, some sort of scaffold that they can hitch a...
No, you don't need to scaffolding. Porirua Park's built for it. That's where they had the Lady Knicks semi-final was held there. That's where they played a lot of... I think they played a few NPC games there last year, but it's a nice small little stadium ground that can fit 5,000-6,000 people. That's all you need.
Maybe a Thursday night they kind of knew they were on a hiding to nothing for for numbers anyway. Like Thursday's a tough night to get out if you are a casual fan. But just even opening up, turning the lights on at Westpac must cost them all the money they've got, like for the ticket take.
Wellington fans are fairly fickle as it is. They only turned up to the final of the Super Rugby.
Well, it was mainly Chiefs fans. I don't even know if it was Cats fans.
So they're let alone their NPC team, and so they've got to do something to shake it up.
I mean, it's an outrage seeing that many yellow seats. If you were, and no wonder they got pumped as well.
There must be something up the Hutt Valley.
There's got to be. I mean,
something up.
You could have had it at, the ground down by the airport, something like this. I mean, and that many fans could have stood around the outside like they're watching a club game.
Yeah, well, I mean, they used to play rugby at the Basin. I know that I think the University Club used to play at the Basin. But I mean, that doesn't make it much better. But you can at least come on the field and watch from the sideline.
Yeah.
But that was
far away for what do you call it? What's the shape I'm thinking of? Rectangle sport. Yeah. You're pretty far away at the old Matt Henry Stadium.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty watching, particularly when the cameras all faced the way in which that half of the stadium had been closed.
Well, I think you could have shone the camera on the crowd and it also would have looked average. Also accusations of using drone footage from earlier games. So the drone footage, the crowd actually looks fairly decent. Then it cuts to the live footage and, there's no one there. So instead of banging a drone up for, your opening establishing shot, they've just got stock footage of Sir Graham Henry Stadium and they're like, yeah, can we just roll? I don't want to launch the drone. It's a bit rainy. Nah, bugger it. We've got the footage. It's still the same stadium. It's a nighttime shot game. Let's just put the old footage on.
Yeah, look, I don't know. They have to do something because they can't keep playing it there.
They can't do it.
Next one. Yours, please.
Well, I'd say there's a lot of talk about Chiefs mana, Crusaders mana, or mana games, but we have to say the new height has been set.
Magpies?
So the ma'a mana.
Okay.
And from now on, everything should be counted from that as the top level. Have you reached ma'a mana?
Well, I mean, for one, I cannot believe he's not calling it ma'ana. Surely it's right there. It's the first two letters of mana and another A. So
ma'ana.
I appreciate what you're trying to say, but it's ma'ana. That's the one. And the ma'ana is just through the roof.
But it's a different category of ma'ana. It's a different category of mana.
They talk about
individual mana.
Talk about BDE, like big dick energy. It could be the single most BDE moment I've ever seen. I can't think of anything else of just walking out, standing in a stadium by yourself and doing a solo haka. Like the absolute
I've seen it done
sack on the boy.
I've seen it done badly at beer fests and whatnot. But
I've done the Waitangi Day pub crawl. I've seen my fair share of
individual
the worst
humiliators.
Individual humiliating hakas of all time. I've probably thrown one down, but that was not this. There was no. Yeah, I wonder what the worst recorded haka
there's a lot
of all time is.
There's a lot, and it usually involves a European trip, a European festival.
Yeah, I think Byron Callagher did one on the top of a bus maybe, and was so inebriated he almost fell off the bus at the end of it.
I've seen one of the worst at Beerfest in Munich. Probably would have been maybe 16 years ago.
Oh, cringing already.
Yeah, it was before, because if anyone who's been to Beerfest, the tents don't open till about 11:30, 12.
Yes.
But they open the doors at kind of 9:30.
Yeah.
And there's always a massive queue, and you basically sprint to your table, and you sit there and you bring a pack of cards, and you play cards for a couple of hours, or, nowadays everyone's just on their phones doing whatever.
Yeah.
And you sit around for 2 hours waiting for the bars to open. Now, we had a big crew of Kiwis with us because we took a beige tour. And at about midday when the bars open, a guy got up on one of the tables and ripped and it was just when Kapo Pongo had just been launched.
He threw Kapo Pongo down?
Yes, and I think
God.
2 weeks beforehand was the first time the All Blacks had dropped that down. And he got up and did an individual one. He must have been practicing, but it was deadly silent in the tent. I think we were in the Loefenbrau house. And it was kind of one of those ones where he laid it down just, I think, to prove that he knew the new haka.
Yeah.
Out of context, everyone was just playing cards. No one was drinking. And then at the end of it, he went, did the throat slit and everything. And there was this kind of the that's probably the worst one I've seen.
Yeah.
In terms of performance, it was okay.
It was okay.
He knew the words and everything, but in terms of just the environment and the timing, terrible.
Yeah, I've seen the ones where the people, you think you know the haka. Everyone kind of thinks they know the haka, but there's actually a little bit more than you remember every time. And so I've seen people do it and they get halfway through and they're like, shit, I don't actually know the hand actions here. So they've got to start looking over at the person beside them.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is real niche areas and probably problematic. But there's actually a pretty impressively bad haka after the terrible tragedy that was the mosque shooting. Some fellas from the local Christchurch Black Power group got together and did a haka outside of it, and just seek it out and take a look at it. And you might go, oh, okay, that's
on the opposite end of the scale.
It's a hell of a moment, and wasn't great. They might have thrown out a rehearsal beforehand. I'm just saying, if you're going to go on to something as serious and tragic as that, I'd maybe do a rehearsal before you do it.
This is making my skin crawl, but this is the worst one I've been involved in. This is probably a really unrelatable story, but in England, I got invited out to a couples golfing weekend.
Lovely.
It was a golfing resort in England. It was about an hour out of London. It's kind of weird. In England, they've got these weird kind of health resorts you can go to, and they've got a golf course on it. Quite well designed, and they have like a beauty spa area where all the ladies would go to spa treatments, and all the guys would go and play golf. And we were in Lowe's. There was 3 couples. My mate Zippy and my mate Dewey, and their lovely partners.
What nickname were you running at this time?
I was still G-Lane.
Oh, you were great. I was going to say, there's no way it was Zippy, Dewey, and Mike.
Nah, Dewey. Well, David Lewis was his name, so you got Dewey. Anyway, after the round of golf, we all went out for dinner at a local restaurant, came back, and the clubhouse was open at the resort. And there was, like, I must admit, about 20 or 30 Irishmen in there. And there was a big boxing match on involving an Irish boxer. So they were all on the gas. Got talking to them. There's 3 Kiwis, 20, 30 Irishmen, all lick it up. And they started singing Irish songs to us, like great ballads and songs and everything. And then they just turned to us and go, what do you got? Can you sing us a song? And there's these 3 kind of white dudes in their kind of late 20s. And we're like, oh, fucking hell. And they're like, probably giving us, this was about midnight. Everyone's quite pissed up. Almost got a little bit heated. We're like, are you going to fucking do anything? Like, have you got anything?
Yeah.
You got anything? And then one of them goes, why don't you just do the fucking haka then? And we're like, oh, shit. Fuck. So we're like, well, fuck, there's no one else around. We're just going to have to lay it down.
Yeah.
Next minute, I turn around, Dewey's got his shirt off. And
nice.
He's the skinniest man alive. He's got his shirt off. And I look at Zippy, and Zippy's like, well, there's no one else around. There's no phones around. No one's ever going to see this. So we whip our shirts off and rip down one of the worst hakas you've ever. It's making my skin crawl.
Watching you squirm right now is great.
And it was, we got a standing O from the Irishman. We got out of jail. But then the next morning at breakfast, sitting down with our respective partners, and one of them goes, now, she goes, now, was that fucking you guys doing what can only be described as the worst haka ever? And we were like, yeah, we were under extreme pressure from a bunch of Irishmen to say yes. And just the look on her face, she just kind of didn't say anything. She just looked at us, shook her head, and just kind of went back to eating her breakfast. Like, pathetic.
I think it is that one where if you commit to it hard enough, people from overseas don't know that it isn't bang on. But Kiwis will go, that wasn't.
There was loads of mid-word poo cunners going down. If we forgot the words, it was like lots of. It was fucking awful.
The poo cunner is the great get out of jail.
Yeah,
the great get out of jail free.
Oh my god! I just kind of man, fuck! I'm glad there weren't phones around then. Holy shit!
You've given me the heebie-jeebies.
Okay, next one, yours, please.
Yeah, g'day. First time. Look,
welcome.
I'm just
welcome.
Watching Conrad Smith be interviewed by Kirsten Beeve. Absolute legend, but fuck me if he hasn't started to sound a bit like Tim Shadbolt. Let's have a listen to this.
You'd go the odd. I mean, my memories of some of those safari parks, they weren't the greatest because you didn't have time to go out to Kruger or anything with the All Blacks, so you were going to
fuck me if that's not Tim Shadbolt.
Firstly, production quality is through the roof.
Yeah.
This guy has come with his own sound effects.
Owned audio.
Absolutely love that. He really is giving it that one, isn't he? Someone couldn't get out to Kruger. That's a great get.
Yeah, I haven't heard Comrade Smith be that animated in quite some time ever.
No, I think maybe someone's just sort of waved a broadcasting contract in front of him, and he's going, "Oh, maybe I will."
Well, no, but he's head of high performance now, Comrade Smith at New Zealand Rugby. He can't be messing about in the
No, he can't. He can't do it. He can't do it both,
dabble.
can he?
He can't dabble.
Well,
Anyway, there you
I
go.
mean, that is truly beautiful stuff. We've got to find some more
between
more
him
evidence.
between him and the foghorn, Beeve going like that would have been a hell of a potty.
Yeah.
Next one.
For the punishing midfield.
Yours, please.
Hey, 2 voice messages or whatever in one day, but I couldn't help but grimace when G Lane was guessing at which player had played with Mo'unga.
Oh, yeah.
And he guessed Fletcher Newell. Mate, he would have been like 14 at the time when Nona retired from Newell.
I also raised an eyebrow.
It's got to be the worst guess.
I know.
In like the history of guesses.
Yeah.
That was so dog shit.
It was
G-Lane.
mashy. I know.
Do better.
It was mashy levels. I was trying to think of an old front rower, and it feels like me, the Fletcher Newell has been around for fucking ever. And I blurted that out, and I immediately regretted it. I was thinking Cody Taylor, because he's been around a very long time, but not that long.
Yeah, he has been captaining the side this week against the Bulls, old Cody Taylor as well, which is nice to see him. I know his name was being thrown around for the legitimate captaincy of the team, which obviously went to Artie. But yeah, when you said it, I thought
That was a dog shit. It was a dog shit, yes.
Especially that I think that we had already had the clue that he debuted in 2013. Like someone said he debuted in 2013. And then, you said Fletcher Newell, and I sort of let it through. Because I was also trying so hard to both remember, but also in these instances, you and I, G-Lane, I don't want to pull the curtain back too much here, but, we're broadcast professionals. So we can't just sit here and think. You can't just sit there quietly and think, because that's nothing to listen to. If there's people out here.
You just blurt out what's
the goon tuggers out there listening can't just sit there with nothing playing through the headphones. So we've got to sort of conjure something up while we're thinking of the legitimate answer, and unfortunately for you, it was the humiliating Fletcher Newell.
The Canterbury clone, Fletcher Newell. Yeah, sorry about that. I'll take that on the chin. Next one, yours, please.
Hey, fellas, I just walked past Mike Minogue.
Nice.
And Queenstown, obviously down here on holiday. Damn, he's a good-looking fella. Wearing gloves, though? It's 14 degrees outside. Come on, it's bloody tropical. Not sure about him, eh?
Yeah, look, I think a lot of people go to Queenstown to wear their winter clothes.
Yes, I think that's a really good accusation. In Auckland, if you do live here, and I'm from the South Island, so I'm used to being, I grew up wearing a polyprop under my T-shirt constantly. Then went to Dunedin, long johns under the jeans to go out on a Saturday night, polyprop under the dress shirt to go to the club. So that was sort of how I was. And then you come up here, you've got this big jacket you never wear. It sits in the cupboard. You've got all these warm clothes that just sit there. You never get to use them. So when you do go back down south, especially in winter.
Yeah, you got to wear it all.
You're packing it all. You're wearing it all. You don it. I'm sure he would have walked out after a while and been like, geez, my hands are pretty bloody hot.
Yeah, look, I mean, everyone would know the hot girl weekends. The girls go down there. There's a lot of coverage on social media, the hot girl weekends, where they go down and they take the big jackets with the big fur collars and the big furry beanie. And obviously they get the obligatory photo from behind and the onsen.
Yeah.
That's where people go to show off their winter wardrobe. And obviously Mike Minogue's winter wardrobe is his merino possum blend gloves.
He is a good looking fella, you're right. It always sort of takes you a second. You go, oh, geez, Louise.
The schnoz is a bit too big for me.
The schnoz is obviously horrendous.
But I mean, you can't have it all.
You
can't have it all.
Someone, if you wanted to park up in the field on the other side of the onsen in Queenstown, it's just nungas for days because every female clientele is.
I think they've cottoned on to that. I think
it's popping the nungas out and facing away so you can see the full back. But if you were to maybe make a mai on the other side of the valley and just get a pair of binoculars and you just look back at the onsen.
The sex pest mai. That's what you're suggesting here.
The sex pest mai, and you're in binoculars. It works perfectly because one nunga sort of fits in each eye. So when you're looking out,
you've thought about this.
It just pops in and you get two perfect. One for each eyeball. Two nungas. It's the dream.
Oh God, you've given that far too much thought for my liking.
No, it just came so naturally.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, if anyone does want to invite us, maybe that's what we could set up down there. The ACC my
nungas my.
The nungas my.
Okay. Next one, yours please.
Hey, G-Lane, could do us a solid. Kiwi based in Sydney here.
Yep.
Going to the Boxing Day test, but I can't buy the City of Ship hats over here.
Oh.
I have to get some sort of mule operation going on. When are you going to go international?
Yeah, don't worry. We you can buy them internationally. If you go onto the ACC and go to the shop, you can go there. I'm pretty sure you can. Oh, we actually might not send it overseas. It might cost too much. But what I'm
Surely you can fold that cost back onto the consumer.
Yeah, probably, potentially. Get in touch with, just jump on the shop and go to the webmaster. Joe Drury will sort you out. But we are going over to Melbourne. There's still packages available as well if you want to join us. But we're going to be there on Boxing Day. So we're there the night before. We're on there on Christmas Day. We've got a bit of a function that night. And we're going to do pre-game functions as well. And we'll bring a bunch of hats over. So if you meet up with us, stay on our socials and we'll sort you out.
Yeah, I've got the first flight out of Dodge on Boxing Day morning. So not there on Christmas Day, but do have the early bird gets the worm on Boxing Day, which I think is going to be fun. I think I'm going to try to weasel my way into that Koru Lounge in Auckland. Might try to go there for doors opening and just park up for as long as we can. And I think that flight over could be quite diabolical. I'm excited for it.
Well, I'm not as diabolical as the flight I'm on, which is about, I think, an 11 a.m. on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would have been able to get that one across the board.
I didn't. I just kind of announced it.
Yeah, you do have to get in there and say, listen, this is a work thing that I'm contractually obliged to do. 11 a.m. on Christmas.
Hey, look, if you're too cowardly to come to Boxing Day, my suggestion is come to Adelaide because that's the weekend before.
Yeah.
And if you can throw the bomb down of, look, I want to go to the Boxing Day test, I'm going to have to fly out Christmas Day. If you are getting a lot of heat, like there's no way you can do that, stick to your guns and then go, right, okay, fine, I won't go on Boxing Day, but can I at least go to Adelaide? And I guarantee you'll get it's the weekend before. And you can join us in Adelaide too.
Yeah, it's a either option is great. Can I just ask this? Does the package include flights over?
Yes.
I think that it's a great way to do it if you're only looking into it now, because I imagine if you were to DIY, it would be an absolute schmozzle.
Yeah, includes flights.
So you get in there, and it won't have gone too outrageous. It'll be fairly steady, and you can come over on that Saturday. Oh, I don't know what day it is. Christmas Day flight.
Yeah,
it seems like a win-win option.
Yeah, you can do land packages only if you have already sorted your flights. You get a beige shirt with it. You get a City of the Ship hat or a black flap with it as well. We've got functions each night and each day before the games. Yeah, you get into it. I mean, you don't want to miss out, particularly looking at how Australia are playing against Bangladesh. This could be our year.
Yeah, I'm hoping it might be. Either way, I mean, my flights are booked. I'm there the whole time. I just hope that we get, 4 days at least. I'm just hanging out.
That's the issue.
Might be a couple of days of walking around Melbourne going, geez, I guess, should we go to the zoo? What else are we going to do?
Yeah, they are. Go shopping.
Yeah, maybe just sit down by the river and rip beers, I guess.
The shopping part of it, everyone goes, Melbourne's got great shopping. I mean, that was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, yes. But all those, when New Zealand didn't quite have all the top-end shops, we didn't have the H&M's of the world, and we didn't have all the...
Everyone just goes to the outlet mall and buys the exact stuff you can get from the outlet mall and anywhere in New Zealand. And I don't quite get that big one up on the river.
And then they say great coffee. It's like, not really.
There is a few good bloody spots.
Yeah, no, but compared to the level we've got here.
Yeah, pretty good comedy, by the way, over there, if you are over there. Okay, particularly next weekend. I hear there's a pretty funny fellow in town in Melbourne next week if you're floating around.
Oh, is Guy Montgomery going over?
No, don't. Well, I mean, he might be. I don't know. I'm talking about me. Come on, man. Next one. Yours, please. That's it.
I love that the signal that Mel gives. It's like whether it's over or not. She's had enough.
Please, for the love of God,
for the love of God, stop with the my nugget chat. Everything else, just get out. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the coverage on Sunday, 5 a.m. All Blacks versus Bulls. Also MPC all weekend as well. Good luck for the Wars on Saturday night.
Yeah, go the Wars. Fins up, go the Marco. Obviously, goes without saying.
Up the Mulus.
Yeah,
Mulus coming up against my soft spot. This down in Invercargill, so I'm going to have to go to the Moolies. The soft spot is my soft spot, but
it's a good bestiality battle, by the way. You've got the
Battle of the Dairy.
Yeah, it's the Battle of the Dairy. The Stags up against the old Mooloos.
The Battle of the Udders is happening down here in Invercargill. Otherwise, we'll catch you Monday.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts.